of chat. Let's see. Oh, I just got a message from Philip Daniel Miles. What's good? Okay, let's see. Are we actually live now? It looks like we are. Okay. Let me pause that. And let's see. So I can pull this up on my actual, because I'd rather have it on my phone than constantly looking over here at my computer screen, because that can be awkward. All right. Let's see. Excellent. All right. Let's do this thing. All right. I'm gonna just act as if I'm just starting from the from the bottom up. So Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again and radiating love as always. And I have a very special guest with me, a fellow radiator of love who is flying into the moment with me. We have Krazy Bull Spirituality. So happy to have her on my channel. We did a video on collaboration on her channel, like I guess like a month or two ago, and now we're doing one on my channel. So this is going to be a very fun, in-depth talk. So why don't you introduce yourself, Krazy Bull? How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So this I felt like this has been a talk that's been long in the making since the first one, and we just went in. Like it was incredible, all of the information that came out of that talk, and just I felt like we had such great synergy too. I felt, and it's interesting here. I even, as I was shuffling my cards, I actually had the card of synergy was actually at the bottom of my deck. So this is definitely a very powerful time of connecting with individuals that do remind you of who you are, people who, you know, are along a similar path. Of course, we all have our own individual path, but especially with the moon in Gemini, especially with the Uranus going into Taurus, this is definitely a moment. And of course, we have Venus in Aquarius, right? So this is a really powerful time with connecting and developing these connections, and so we can really lift the vibration of this planet, because, oh lordy, we definitely need to. Yeah. What would you like? So, first of all, just why don't you just kind of introduce yourself a bit, kind of talk about, your path and why you started Krazy Bull Spirituality in the first place.
All right. Well, I am a Taurus sun, an Aquarius moon, and a Scorpio rising. And so last year in 2018, I had my spiritual awakening. And it was actually about maybe a little bit over a month after Uranus went to Taurus in 2018. And I had my spiritual awakening, and I actually got visited by Saturn and was given an ultimatum to either, get on it and start my channel, because I had gotten the idea of starting my channel, but I was scared to death of putting myself out there. And I actually, after finding out who my soul was and having this huge spiritual awakening and getting my whole world turned upside down, it was fight or flight. So I had like a week, and I just started going, and I've been going ever since. And it's completely changed my life. And I've realized this is like where I'm meant to be, what I'm supposed to be doing. And I've figured out a lot of things along the way. So I am an empath. I'm one of the 144,000 light workers and healers here to help the earth and to raise the vibration and frequency. And so YouTube's been part of my path, and I've been here ever since. I believe I really got it started last Cancer season. So nearly a year going on in a couple months. So it's been a crazy ride ever since. But on my channel, I I do a lot of astro talks. Astrology is my first love, and I do a lot of tarot readings, like pick a card readings. So, and I'll go through like different things of, you know, spiritual awakenings, and I have a great soul fam on there. So, but yeah, we did have like a great talk, and I'm super excited to be here on your channel. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you did the peace talk on Michael's channel, like as soon as I saw that peace talk, I was like, all right, I definitely gotta check this sister out, because just your energy and your aura, it packs a powerful punch, but also there's a level of compassion there too. But I'm guessing, you know, of course, that intensity kind of comes through with your Scorpio rising, but there's a level of compassion there, because you can tell that you really do care about the value that you provide people. You really do care about providing this information for people so they can better their own lives, so they can come to some type of understanding on what the hell's going on here. And yeah, I've just been watching you pretty much ever since then. And then, of course, like we said, we had that first talk, which was incredible. So I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be someone I'm collabing with for a while. And it's interesting because I've been making YouTube videos for several years now, but I've had different themes and different platforms and stuff. And it's interesting how you said Saturn kind of gave you an ultimatum. I guess Saturn kind of did that too with me. Saturn and Pluto kind of worked hand in hand. They're like, they allow me to do some channels for certain periods of time, but then there are other channels where they just kind of like, no, you can't do that. That's not you. So they killed like multiple of my platforms on YouTube. But then when I started first off as Aquarian Adepts last February, and then it evolved into Astro Fenixx later in the year, it's just, I don't know. I never really run out of inspiration to make a video, and the community that I found on YouTube is in particular like the astrology community and people who are, you know, this light worker community. It's been a blessing. It really has been. So I'm just grateful that there are individuals like you out there in this community as well, helping to raise the vibration of this planet. And yeah, we have a lot of juicy things to talk about. The astrology has been so intense. How has Pisces season been for you so far?
Oh, Jesus, Lord in heaven. Okay, this is my first ascended Pisces season. Okay, and it's I would say my worst would be Libra, because Libra's in my Pisces house, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on all of Libra season. So I knew it wasn't going to be as bad as Libra season. So I have more of an awareness because Pisces is in my 5th house. It's been fun, but it's been weird. And I feel like there was like such a huge difference from where I felt like I couldn't keep up, and then Uranus went to Taurus, and now I'm like keeping up, even though I don't fully get it. Mm-hmm. So it's very complicated and very emotional as well. I have my moon in 28 degrees of Aquarius, so I feel like I'm real close to Pisces, just not all the way there, but I can relate with it. But yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. Just Pisces energy in general, when I connect with it, I'm just, because like I'm so used to like the Aquarian energy where you can like communicate it and intellectualize it and bring some logic to it. But like Pisces, you feel it. And I have my moon in the 4th house, so I'm like used to Cancer energy, but like Pisces is like, it's a whole different ballpark. So I've just kind of been everywhere this whole season. I don't know how to explain it. It's very, very psychic, very emotional. And
yeah,
I feel like right when you feel like you can keep up, then there's another like twist or turn to it. So it's been entertaining, that's for sure.
entertaining, a lot of twists and turns. And since you are, you have your moon in the fourth house, so it's like you can it's kind of interesting having that Aquarius moon, because a lot of times I guess people kind of see Aquarius energy as this kind of, I would say cold energy, but it's not necessarily cold. It's actually the closest of the outer planets. When I'm thinking outer planets, I'm considering Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So it kind of gets it, and plus it's opposite of the Sun, with in Leo. So the Aquarius energy, being the water bearer, it's not that don't express your emotions. You're just able to intellectualize it more. I don't know this word, but I'm guessing having that moon in the fourth, which I have my moon in the fourth too. So, but I have the Pisces moon at 28 degrees. So our moon's actually semi-sextile. It's kind of interesting. And I would say Pisces season for me, I thought Aquarius season was tough. Like, I thought Aquarius season kind of kicked my ass emotionally. I don't even know why. And then we got the Pisces season, and it was a little bit better, but it was like, you see, Mercury, it pretty much did like a drive-by on my moon because it went to 29 degrees of Pisces. So it came across my moon. It was like, oh, hey, what's up? And then it retrograded back over my moon just recently. And it's like, oh, I forgot to go get something. But it's like, I feel like I'm kind of getting shot. Like, in a good way, too. It's not a bad way. Just like definitely altering my perceptions. And Mercury is tripping, like quite literally. And as a Pisces moon in the fourth house, I definitely feel the world's emotions on a pretty deep level. I think what helps me, of course, is the fact that my sun trines my moon. So it kind of helps me to, heal and not, because I'm super empathic. And I've realized that over the past few years, just how empathic I am and how I really have to do a good job at protecting my energy, cleansing my energy. And I don't always do the best at that. But this Pisces season has definitely been a roller coaster. It's like there have been days where I'm just like, go, go, go. I'm full of energy, full of passion. And then there are the days, like the past 2 days, I've been pretty lazy. I haven't really done much. Of course, we did just move. So, of course, moving is always a drain on your system. But it's like, this is definitely going to be a Pisces season to remember. Just with all these energies with Mercury here and stuff, with Chiron just having left this space. So it's like we're kind of like wrapping up a lot of these loose ends. It's like we're moving from one spiritual story to the next spiritual story. So how would you, I guess, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about, these shifting of timelines, the shifting of this old story and kind of shifting into the new story? Do you, as an Aquarius moon, do you have any insight into the future of spirituality here?
Oh yeah, and it's really funny because you were saying like Aquarius was a bit more tough. I feel literally like the opposite. Like Aquarius, there was some stuff, but like Pisces season's kind of like handed me my ass a bit, and I feel like it's also like the moons as well. And it is funny with our moons. Like you said, being semi-sextile, like with Pisces, you feel it. And even though I have my moon in the fourth house, that's what makes me an empath. That moon in the fourth house, big time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice because whenever I need to protect myself with my Aquarius moon, I can pull back. Now the Pisces moon or like water moons, y'all can't do that. Y'all like feel it,
It's a little bit harder to protect myself. I think that's why I came in as a Scorpio in this life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've learned to really, because my Taurus, my Aquarius are really chill. My Aquarius can be crazy and goofy and stuff, but my Scorpio is the one that gets me in the most trouble. And I've had to learn to really like respect and admire my Scorpio, because if I didn't have my Scorpio there, I'd be getting ran the fuck over all the time. Like, Lord, I'd be getting way much more trouble than I already have been. But this time's been crazy, and I didn't even realize that Mercury retrograde has been going through your moon, which that's insane.
That is insane. Like when I, of course, was looking at this transit, months back, I was like, oh crap, this Mercury is going to seriously do a drive-by on my moon. And this was at a time where I was connecting more to my moon than my sun at that time, only because I really wanted to learn more about my moon. And like I intuitively kind of get it, but it's also this Pisces season has shown me it's like, yeah, you can kind of throw a lot of that out the window. You kind of just have to go with the flow. You really have to just go with the flow. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I love all of my placements. I love all of my aspects. I embrace it because that's what I came into this life with. Those are the gifts I came in with. My Pisces moon is a huge troll, a massive troll. Trolls the fuck out of me, trolls other people as well. But my Pisces moon also makes my dreams so interesting. And with the Scorpio sun in the 12th house coming up, with it conjunct Mars too, it's like when it comes to my dream world, when I was younger, I used to have really just terrible dreams, and I still have bad dreams every now and again. But I used to have like just like straight out of a horror film times to the 20, like just terrible dreams. And then I taught myself how to fight. I guess I was tapping into my Mars then. So now it's to the point of my dreams where like nothing really can fuck with me. But I'm not really fighting as much in my dreams now. It's more like I feel like I'm like a detective and uncovering different things. And the dreams Pisces season have been like
They've been batshit. I
oh
can
my
tell
God.
you one thing, because people always ask me about dreams and dream meanings and all this stuff. And I'm like, listen, I'm not the one. I usually don't remember my dreams, like honestly. And when I do, they're like really in codes. They're really hard to understand. I've never really been connected. This Pisces season has I've been dreaming so often, and I'm like, something's going on. Because like, I'm not the one that can remember dreams, and it's just like it's so rare, and it's been like happening. I've never had a reoccurring dream before, and I had a reoccurring dream this time.
Okay. Wow.
So I had three. It was 3 times in a row, and that's never happened to me in my entire life. And I'm like, something's going on this Pisces season. They ain't playing because it never happened like my whole entire life. So something's definitely, and astrologically it does show big time. And
Yeah, we also have Jupiter squaring all this energy too. And that's kind of the interesting thing about the Jupiter, just the Sagittarius Pisces squares, because they really do get each other, but they just kind of do the same thing in different ways. So it's like Pisces wants to, it feels everything, and the Sagittarius wants to pretty much experience everything. It's the great adventurer. So it's like, Jupiter's been squaring Mercury when it was going direct. It's going to come back and square it again when Mercury's retrograding. And it's been definitely interesting on the dream front. And it was funny. I told myself I was going to keep a dream journal, and I tried multiple times to try and keep dream journals, and I just don't. But what I have decent dream recall, but lately here it's been hard to kind of keep up with the dreams during Pisces season because they are, as you said, batshit crazy. So like I had a dream, it was like a few nights ago, where it was just so in depth. There was so much that was happening. I was uncovering, it really felt like I was just uncovering so much in my subconscious. I was just rising up. And I don't remember too much of it, but I felt like I was literally just going around from place to place, going on this great adventure. And yeah, it was just really intense. I really couldn't explain it. I'm just like, these are crazy even for me, because I can remember when I was younger, and I dabble in lucid dreaming and stuff, although I haven't been doing as much lately. My focus hasn't been there, but I'm pretty proficient at lucid dreaming. That's actually how I was able to work through a lot of my night terrors, which I still have, but I don't react nearly as volatilely as I did in the past. And I astral project as well, but I haven't really been focusing on those aspects. Now, when I was a child, when I was younger, I astral projected all the time. Like I I just had so many memories of falling back into my body. And now when I astral project, I don't really go too far. I just kind of explore like my house or
That's
wherever I'm living. So,
that's really interesting because I've asked different people about like astral projection. I'm not allowed to astral project in this life. Like I've been specifically told, and I've actually accidentally astral projected twice, and I went right above my body, and I didn't mean to both times. Like it just happened, and I immediately got back in. I had a lot of dark forces like around me, surrounding me, and my spirit guides would go on my ass. They were like, "Listen, don't ever do that again." Like, and another thing, I have like my South Node in the 8th house. So from what they explained to me was that I mastered that in a previous life. And so having like North Node in my 2nd house, like I don't need to be messing with like going that far in this life. Just something with astral projection is off for me, but I've heard amazing stories on it. So it kind of sucks in that aspect. But whenever it did happen to me, it was bad news. Whatever the hell was around me was bad, and it kept on coming, and I wasn't safe. So it's only happened those 2 times, but that's really awesome that you can. And I definitely feel like Scorpio energy has that ability, as well as like, you know, mediumship. I definitely connect those two because I believe like Scorpio energy is like beyond the veil. So with that being in like your human consciousness, that makes sense how you'd be like able to and everything like that.
yeah, and kind of like I said, I don't really do it much anymore, and I definitely don't go as far as I used to when I was younger. I think what happened when I was younger is that, you know, because like you, I'm South Node in the 8th house, North Node in the 2nd house, so we have kind of similarities as far as like, I guess our charts and placements and stuff. So I mastered these things in past lives as well, so I don't have as much of a focus on it in this life. And I think what happened when I was younger, just kind of feeling into it right now, is that I went to a lot of places. I don't really remember it, but I attracted a lot of attention. And then when I came back to my body, that attention kind of followed me. So now it's like my guides are kind of ramped up the protection, and I'm not really allowed to go too far. So I'm really, I guess right now it's more about just exploring my own subconscious via lucid dreaming and stuff. I'm not really, I don't think I'm not allowed to astral project. I just think I have limits. Like I'm not I don't know what I did when I was younger and stuff. I think I just really wanted to explore. I think that's really what it was. But because I can recall several times where I would astral project and I would just be in my room and I would see all kinds of shit around me. Like just weird, just I guess you could say dark forces. And my guides have had to like ramp up the protection on me and stuff too, because it's like you have a very, very powerful aura, and there are beings that do want to get to you and do want to influence you. And when I was younger, I subconsciously, I didn't even realize I was doing this, but I would channel this into my writing and stuff, where I created this character based off of me, and essentially he was always being attacked, or even his loved ones always get attacked by people that were trying to take a certain energy from him. And it was weird how I saw that this character would evolve over time and transform. And but I don't know how to describe it. The only way I can really describe it was which you probably, I don't know if you're really into this stuff, but it was like in Naruto when they tried to take the spirit of the fox demon that was inside of him and they tried to pull it out. That's kind of what these beings wanted to do with me. They wanted to pull this being or this spirit that I'm host to. They wanted to pull it out and I guess use that power for malicious reasons. So for that reason, my guides have had to ramp up protection. I'm not allowed to astral project as far as I used to when I was younger. Maybe when I'm older, I'm not sure if they'll allow me to then. I think it really depends on how the next 10 years or so go. But I think really they're really more focused on me just like grounding a lot of this information and integrating it so we can set up the future generations. Because people think the kids are crazy now. The Pluto and Aquarius kids and the Pluto and Pisces kids, they're going to destroy everything in a good way, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I am preparing myself for, possibly having a Pluto and Aquarius kid one day. And that's going to be right on my moon and on my Saturn. And I don't know what's going to happen with me and these damn kids. I can already hear myself being a grumpy old grandma. But yeah, they're going to be, it's definitely going to be different. Just even thinking about the transit, because I know like with our generation, when you think of like our generation, like Pluto and Scorpio, like our generation has like our things, but like look at the transit of Pluto and Scorpio, all the shit that happened during that time. It was batshit. And so I just feel like the same way. I feel like it's going to be a different octave, kind of like a level whenever it hits Aquarius, because it's the next fixed sign. It's squared. And I mean, it's fucking Aquarius. So it's just like, damn, it's going to be a hell of a ride. And I feel like it's going to be a crazy time to live through as a transit. I'm kind of living for it. I've actually, yesterday I was noticing like I was seeing like really how out in the world and out in society. I watched this whole documentary, but the whole time I was just thinking of Pluto and Capricorn right now, and structures are really being torn down, like governments and the way that things have been run. And I don't know if you've seen like I'm like way into like celebrity shit, but like the R. Kelly whole situation. And he's actually a Capricorn, which I was like,
Capricorns are under attack right now. And
they
I'm not saying that
are.
what he did, like, what he did was wrong and stuff like that. So I'm not supporting what he did, but Capricorns are under attack right now.
As Cancers are too. Cancers are too, because of the opposition. So Capricorns and Cancers. But I feel like it eased up a bit more whenever the North Node went into Cancer. I feel like they were like, all right, Cancer, we got to save you a little bit. We're going to put the North Node here, give you some slack. But Capricorn's like, hell yeah. They're going through some shit.
My brother's a Capricorn. His sun is at 22 degrees. So Pluto's like right on it. I'm just like, holy shit, dude. So that's why like I just try to, like, whenever I see him, I just try to keep him in good spirits and just radiate love his direction, because he's going through his own fair amount of stuff too. And I'm just like, can I like do your chart? Because I have his chart, but I haven't actually sat down with him and like shown him his chart, whatever like that. I'm gonna just let that come when it needs to come. But yeah, Capricorns are definitely under attack right now. Cancer is too. I think what's weird about this, North Node in Cancer is the fact that Saturn and Pluto are there too. So it's like there's so much influence around the South Node. There's so much influence around Capricorn right now. And it's like typically you want to kind of go towards the North Node. And it's like, with it being Cancer, it's about the family, the foundation, emotional integrity in many ways, how to really direct those currents, because it's cardinal water, and empathy. And it's like we're seeing massive amounts of empathy, but we're seeing massive amounts of the opposite as well. It's like people really don't give a shit. And it's like when you're seeing all of these structures collapse, and it's not just the structures here, because we got to think Capricorn is the last Earth sign. It's behind the veil. So this is about even like galactic structures, like stuff that we can't even see. We can feel it, especially those of us in the star seeds or lightworker community. We can feel it, but even like those federations, the galactic federations, what's happening here is happening there, as above, so below. So there are a lot of traditions that are breaking down right now. A lot of things are being transformed. And it's like Saturn's having to rebuild things just as fast as Pluto is destroying it. And it's going to be interesting because Saturn's eventually going to pass Pluto. So it's almost going to be like Saturn's probably going to build some things that by the time that Pluto comes over it, it's like, all right, we'll probably get rid of that thing and we'll keep this thing. So we're not even really done with this. It won't really end until Pluto comes out and goes into Aquarius. But then we'll also have Uranus going into Gemini, Neptune going into Aries, which that's the one that I'm like looking forward to. I'm like a little anxious about it too, because I'm like, ooh, Neptune going into Aries. Ooh, the spiritual warriors are really gonna come out then.
Yeah, it's I've been, because I'm just like an astro nerd, like even in my everyday behind closed doors, and like I apply it to like real stuff, like practical things, like me being a Taurus. And I was just like, what people don't realize is that like these planets are real entities. And like, for those of y'all out there who like aren't aware, don't fuck with Pluto or Saturn, because they will fuck you up. And it's just so crazy because they're working together right now. And I feel like it's so crazy in Capricorn. It's going to get even hella crazier in Aquarius. I don't know how all of us are going to be living through that, especially with it being on my moon. Like, I don't know what, Lord, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's I'm going to be going through my Saturn return too. So
Yay, the Saturn return. It's coming up for me as well. I have Saturn at 1 degree of Aquarius.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm terrified. And then Pluto's coming through, and I'm just like, Lord, of course. I feel like definitely if you have like Scorpio in your 3 main signs, you have signed up for like an intense life. And so it's funny when I compare people's charts with like transits, and it's always like people with Scorpio in their 3 main signs that have like the craziest transits that go through their stuff. And it's like, damn, no wonder. That's something that I've seen high key would do in like birth charts and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely interesting. And I know, because yeah, we've talked about that before. Yours is at 1 degree, right? Mm-hmm. And mine's at 29 degrees. So I don't know. Yeah.
You got the whole spectrum covered right there. That's going to be kind of interesting. And I am scared about my Saturn return. I know I'll make it through, but I am scared. I'm just like, what the fuck's going to happen? What are y'all going to take away from me? Because I know y'all going to take something away. Because that's what Saturn does. And here's the interesting thing, though. Like, growing up, even before I got really heavily into astrology, I was always obsessed with the stars anyways. And I just, one of my first dreams was to be an astronaut, which I guess I am an astronaut, right? But it's like Saturn was my favorite planet. And it's like, I guess because I like the rings, I thought it was just really beautiful and stuff. And turns out I actually have a good amount of Capricorn energy anyways. My North Node is there. Uranus and Neptune are there, conjunct my North Node too. So it's interesting. But of course I have Black Moon Lilith there as well. So I got to deal with that energy, which, it's sometimes I can kind of scare myself and put myself into like these weird corners. But then as I began to learn more about astrology and stuff I was like, oh shit, Saturn's my favorite planet, but I don't know if I want to just fuck with Saturn all the time like that.
Saturn, it's Saturn's so karma related. And I feel like even like since I was a young child, I've always felt karma conscious. Even when I was like, grown up like religiously and everything, I've always had this like awareness of karma. And that's definitely because of Saturn being on my moon. And so when you fuck with Saturn, yeah, it comes with the discipline and the responsibility, but it's so karma conscious. Mm-hmm. So fucking karma conscious. And if you're in good terms with Saturn, you're set long term. So it's high key awesome if you're on Saturn's good side. But if you're on Saturn's bad side, the karma, it just gets, you get your ass handed to you. And the same thing goes for like Pluto. You do not want to fuck with Pluto. Scary as fucking hell. I don't know who's damn scarier, to be honest.
I don't know either, just because Saturn will like Saturn will take away from you, and then like when you're like on Saturn's good side, you know, will give back to you and stuff like that. And Saturn is kind of like, they won't necessarily, I don't know. I'm kind of getting this. I'm kind of getting like this whole energy where it's like Saturn will like, you know, it'll bless you with something, and it'll be like, oh, good job. And it's like there seems to be a kind of a lack of emotion there. Although I don't think Saturn's without emotion, but there seems to be like Saturn knows where to create that divide. So Saturn will definitely take from you, but Saturn will also teach you lessons and just like kind of, you know, will certainly allow you to grow and put you through some shit. Pluto just doesn't give a fuck. Pluto will just like drive by your house in the middle of the night, shoot out all your windows, and be like, all right, wake up. We gotta come deal with this shit. And you're just like, fuck. Like, I don't want to have to deal with this. Like, Pluto will do that. And it's funny talking as a, you know, Scorpio sun. So it's like, I kind of, you know, understand that Plutonian energy and stuff, and the whole destruction, creation energy. There have been moments where I really wanted to just like, you know what? I really could just like destroy things right now. Like it's like it's a weird energy. Like I've had like visions in my head where I would just be sitting in the mall right now, like in the mall somewhere, and just I guess angry for whatever. And it's just, you know, I was like, what if this mall just like collapsed all around me right now? Those are kind of like those weird thoughts. And I'm like, really? Why would you have a thought like that? That's kind of interesting. And it's like, but the great thing is that we need Pluto because, you know, I think, you know, the peace dealer said it recently, is like, if we didn't have Pluto, no one would die. You know, like there wouldn't be any type of rebirth. There wouldn't be any type of restructuring and this recycling of these energies. And it's interesting with Scorpio being the 8th sign of the zodiac. The 8 is the figure 8, so it's infinity. So it's, in many ways, Pluto is like this incredible massive generator. Not only that, but since it's the outermost planet, in many ways it protects everything on the inside. So, you know, Pluto is also a great protector, but Pluto is like, Pluto does not give two shits if you're trying to hold on to something, which is kind of funny because Scorpios would like, we're either all in or all out. Like, you know, so it's like we will hold on to something, but Pluto will definitely pry it from you.
Oh yeah, it's like that quote, like everything I had to let go of has claw marks on it. That is definitely like a scorpionic quote for sure. But whenever it gets to that point, and I think with Scorpio energy, a really big thing that people don't understand is just how crazy the transformation process is. And sometimes with certain situations or with certain people, Scorpios have to continually die and be reborn, and then die and then be reborn and die and be reborn until we can really put it to rest, like until we get exhausted. We're like, we can't die anymore, damn it. We have to let it go. And that's what makes the energy like relentless, because it will hold on. When it wants to hold on, it will hold on. You can try to kill it off 100,000 times, but it will still hold on. But whenever it really does let go, oh, it's gone. It literally is dead. So,
and there's an ecstasy to that too. That's why Scorpio rules orgasm. It's like, because like when you can finally let go of it too, there's that relief. There is that sort of ecstasy that comes where it's like it's been released, and now you can create again. You can put something in that place. It's like you've kind of cleared the soil and you can plant again. So And it like it sometimes it does feel, it really does. It does feel good to like hold on, to like really be all in, to hold on to something. But then when you have to release it finally, even though you cry, you moan, you bitch and complain about having to let go of it, and you finally let go of it, it's one of the biggest sighs of relief. It's like, ah, oh, okay, I'm done with
Yeah.
that. Move forward.
Yeah, it's so funny when people that don't have the energy like talk about it. It's like, try living through it. Like you have no idea. No
Yeah.
idea. And only people that have the energy like get it, you know? That's something I've always noticed. And I know it can play out in like different areas and parts and stuff when you have it in different placements. As like potent no matter what placement it's in. It just it's like incorporated differently, but it's always definitely like intense no matter where it is, and it's very powerful, like full power or powerless. And it definitely just thinking like with Pluto and everything and applying that to transits, I feel like there's like a huge power struggle going on right now when it comes to like everything Capricorn, whether it's like, you know, here on Earth or like the structures, Capricorn people who, you know, have that energy, and it, especially with the government. I've seen a lot of shit like in the government lately. And like I said earlier, in the like the entertainment industry, just things that haven't been working getting destroyed. And it's a really powerful time right now because like things that no one has ever fought up against that have been getting away with like shit for decades is now finally like being brought, like served their karma, you know? And it's incredible to watch, like honestly.
It's amazing to watch. It's like, I mean, there's not enough popcorn to there's not enough popcorn to watch this thing. It's like I'm sitting here, like it's like that meme with Michael Jackson. Like I just came here for the comments, and I'm just like, and it's funny because like in this age of social media is an incredible, beautiful thing. It's what's allowed us to connect, you know. But at the same time, it is such a double-edged sword because there'll be times where it's like, you know, I don't want to have to deal with looking at any type of controversial stuff. I don't want to look at anything with politics and government and stuff. And it always finds a way of finding you. So it's like there are moments where it's like, damn, that really happened. Damn, he really did that. Damn, she really did that. And you're just sitting here like, this is unprecedented. Like this hasn't happened. And it seems like a lot of it does seem like it's existing more in the digital sphere and stuff like that. Which is ruled by, of course, this Aquarian energy, this Aquarian vibe. And of course, going into the age of Aquarius, which we can arguably say that we're already there, things are definitely shifting. You know, things are shifting. It's like we're going from the age of the guru to the age of the enlightened collective. And that's very, very powerful. So it's like these structures that I've tried to maintain this level of power, it's things are collapsing. And it's like now the collective, and the thing about the enlightening collective is that like when you go through your enlightenment, when you raise your vibration, it's not always the easiest. Like you know what I'm talking about. So it's like a lotus flower trying to come through the mud. It's like people like to look at enlightenment and spirituality as like, oh, it's okay, just align your chakras and do yoga and you can manifest anything that you want, law of attraction, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, the secret, you know, the universe and all that sort of stuff. But, and I had my phase when I was kind of more into that stuff. And I still am, but it's like, it's not as, you know, rainbows and sunshine. And the moments when it is, it's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. And you have this deep appreciation for it. And then the times where it's just like you're getting your ass handed to you. You don't really appreciate it in the moment, but when you look back, it's like, damn, I'm glad I got that ass kicking. But this whole collective enlightenment, which is the age of Aquarius, we have to kind of go through some rough patches. We have to work through these issues. So
yeah, I think the deeper I go down this rabbit hole, if I'm like really to sum it up, it's all about healing. Like the whole like spiritual journey and everything, it's all about healing. It literally is. And I've told people, you know, I've had lives on my channel and everything and talked about like I had to face my demons literally face to face, had to go to the lowest part. Like the whole thing about Dark Night of the Soul is that you have to literally face your demons. You have to face all the fucked up, horrible, bad shit of yourself that you never wanted to face, the stuff that you're scared of, that you hate about yourself, that you don't love nor respect about yourself, that you hide, like everything terrible. You have to face that and then you have to defeat it. And that's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's literal hell. And that you have to earn your spot. And it all comes through healing. Like we are conditioned and we grew up in a way that wasn't the way that things are in the natural order of things. And we have to unfuck ourselves in order to get on our right paths. And in order to do that, it's really hard. And especially, you have to go alone. Like you have to no one's going to be there with you when you face all the horrible shit of yourself. You're there alone and you have to defeat them. But the reason that you have to defeat them is in order to heal and in order to love yourself. And to be on this path of enlightenment, you have to love yourself because we have a soul mission of healing and helping the earth. And how can we heal and help and love one another if we don't even love ourselves? So it all starts with you, and then you have to bring it out into the world. And it's a lot. And like, I get attacked a lot. And dark forces will come after you because they want to keep it the way it is. And like people just don't see that, like the practical side of like what really happens when you have a dark night of the soul and then a spiritual awakening. And it's shit. I thought I was literally going to die. And it's like, it's a complete thing, you know? It's not all rainbows and butterflies, and people they don't see what happens behind closed doors. They just see how far you're getting and they don't understand why. And then they go to different people that want to enlighten them. They're all like, oh, it's all about there is the aspect of like vibrating at a high frequency and all of that, but you have to do the healing first. Like you don't just say everything's all good and dandy and then it just happens. No, it's a whole process. And you have to work every day at it. You have to unfuck your
everyday thing. It's an absolute everyday thing. And that's the thing about it. It's like when you get your enlightenment and you really start to tap more into these deeper, purer, more harmonizing frequencies, it is an everyday battle. It really is. And it's like some battles you lose, some you win. We're going to win the war, though, I best believe. If we haven't already won it, we're just playing the catch-up effect. But, you know, yeah, these dark forces, they rather you stay complacent. They rather you try and put up, and that's been one of my biggest lessons, is how to really be vulnerable. And, like, I was kind of I forced myself into this, you know. Just vulnerability is such a huge issue, especially in this country, especially in America, the Western world. Vulnerability is something that is not easy for a lot of people. So like really show your stuff, to really be out there and to, you know, because, and that's kind of the interesting thing about this work is that like you do have to face your demons, you do have to face your shadows. But if you choose not to, if you choose to ignore them, they're going to come out anyways. They're going to get exposed. So you might as well expose yourself before you get exposed. And then they really won't have anything to slander you with. So it's like, yeah, I did that thing, or yes, I'm not perfect. Yes, I might have not been in the greatest integrity in that moment, but you know, I I'm aware of it. I'm working through it the best way I can. And I am definitely not going to give up because my love for myself runs that deep. And self-love and vulnerability is really becoming the new, I guess you could say, I don't want to even use the word, but I'll just say it, like the new religion. And self-love in the sense where it's like you have such a deep respect for yourself that you don't have to take away from another. And that's the issue, is that there are people that seemingly love themselves, and this is about even the evolution of the ego, because I see a lot of people in the spiritual community constantly bashing the ego. And the ego we've allowed our egos to do some pretty fucked up shit. Let's not get it twisted. But the ego, we still have this energy. It's ruled by Aries energy. So it's like we're still having to evolve this energy. And I really do feel like it will be evolved. Chiron's coming to the space, which is going to heal a lot of these issues. And then, of course, Neptune will come there. But it's really about having a deeper self-love for yourself and a deep respect for yourself to where you don't feel any type of lack. So there's no need to take from someone else. You can share in the abundance. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to, um, ground and anchor this message of true self-love, true vulnerability, and true unconditional compassion for each other, to where there will be no need to really compete in the way that we compete. I find myself, I'm sitting here like, dang, I feel like sometimes I'm like a hamster on a wheel with bills coming in every single month. I got to do this, I got to do that and stuff. And it's like, sometimes if I had it my way, I really would just look at the stars and write poetry all day, take up guitar, which I'm probably going to do that, but I wouldn't really do much. I would just chill and stuff and dance. Like, that's my Sagittarius coming out. I would just dance pretty much all the time. But it's like we're like on this cycle where we're constantly having to produce and produce. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that energy. That's that Taurus vibe, and there's a reason why we have that energy, obviously. But it's about this deeper sense of self-value and materializing it. And I think we are shifting from, especially with Uranus and Taurus, it's going to completely shift the way that we look at currency. It's going to completely shift it in the way that we purchase goods from each other. It's going to completely shift it, because that's the thing about Uranus too, is that, you got to remember Uranus and Saturn are very much so interlinked. Uranus is, the father of Saturn. So it's like Saturn's no joke. And Uranus is kind of like, Uranus will kind of play with you a little bit, but Uranus will fuck your shit up too if you're not careful. And now that's in Taurus, fixed Earth. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's already. I don't know what the hell's going on. So shit. It's definitely, it's been so entertaining, and it just got started. And I'm kind of living for it because my Aquarius moon is like, yes, finally. But my Taurus is like, damn, this is some shit. But yeah, I definitely believe a big thing that a lot of people haven't noticed when it comes to Uranus and Taurus is a big thing that's going to change is what we value. And not about, which it does involve, like, the biggest thing that people talk about is money, and that's true. But it's going to be like what we value physically, what we value on Mother Earth, what we value in people, what we value, because Taurus is a very like shaman sign. And I've learned this, you wouldn't think, but definitely getting more and more into spirituality, I've learned like, damn, it really is. And so there's going to be everything what we value. Anything and everything is up for grabs now. And prepare to be unprepared, expect the unexpected. So that's a big deal. Just like the past 7 years in Aries, everything with who we are was up for grabs. Expect the unexpected, and Lord did we, okay? That was some shit. Yes. So yeah, we just learned a bunch of lessons about the importance of who we are. Now we're about to learn the importance of what we value in everything around us.
Yeah. Uranus going into Aries, and of course, like I got into astrology, like got more into it, I guess, several years ago, but not at the initial onset of Uranus going into Aries. But that's when my whole life shifted, and I really began to uncover a lot of my spirituality. That's when, I guess you could say, my journey really began. And I had a couple of what I thought were Kundalini awakening experiences. Um, but I didn't really get my awakening until I went to Colorado. And I got my ass handed to me. That was in 2017, actually, because we moved there in 2016, came back in 2017. So we weren't there for that long, but it was probably around Pisces season, 2017, when I got my lightning and I went through an intense dark night of the soul. Just like, ooh, it was ridiculous. But I did learn a lot about myself. I learned a lot about, my resiliency and, my fortitude and not really giving up on myself. I learned how to love myself more. Still am. Not perfect, but I've learned more as I've gone along on my journey. And there are moments where it's like I will like go to my guides and I'm like, it's like, sometimes I feel like a fuck up and yet you guys still support me. And it's kind of incredible actually, to really have that support, but you still have to show that support for yourself more so than anything. That's an interesting thing about Taurus. It's like, you go through Aries season, you develop your personality, you find out more of who you are. Then you get to Taurus season where you really have to learn how to stand your ground, and no one's really going to do it for you. You don't really get to kind of dabble in that until you get Gemini season, where you start to meet other people. But it's almost like I'm kind of seeing like, an animal, like a baby animal that's just left the nest and they had to learn how to fend for themselves with the Aries energy. And now they have to like actually find like their home, and then they'll have to defend their home. But that's Taurus. Like, your mom and dad's not really there to help you out. You got to learn how to build this thing, and then you got to learn how to keep it up. You have to value yourself and value your life enough, especially coming from this example, this metaphor, like an animal, to keep it up. So, because your survival does depend on it. And in many ways, this is about our spirituality and our spiritual survival. And it's like, that's why this path is an everyday thing. There's no days off. There are absolutely no days off. It's a 24/7, 365. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way, because if I did not go on this journey, if I wasn't on this path, I really don't know where I'd be right now. Lost. I could say that I would be lost. And sometimes it can be tiring, this journey. But like I said, I would not have it any other way. So.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking while you were talking about that, I feel like definitely with the Uranus and Aries transit, when it, collective wise, I think we learned a lot when it comes to who we are. And I know a big one was when Robin Williams died. Everyone was like really, really shocked. And they had like no idea that he was like really depressed. And he was a very prestigious public figure. And it just showed us, you can have a name that might be who you are. But that doesn't, that's not everything. And I feel like the transit that we're going to go through, I feel like a big collective lesson this transit is going to bring, that's really going to hit home for everyone, is about a big thing that I see going on in Instagram. It is really bad with this, about, showing off your money, showing off your clothes, showing off your shoes, showing off, your cars. That doesn't equate happiness. Like, it doesn't. and like I'm a Taurus saying this, I have been through periods of my life where I had like a very prestigious job. I made a lot of money. I had a big corporate job and I made a lot of money, and I could buy all this fancy nice shit. But the thing is that there was like a hole, and I kept buying shit thinking it would make me happy, and I'd get it and I wouldn't be happy. So I just buy more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a huge transit when it shows us like physical things don't make you happy. Like they don't. And I think that's a huge collective lesson that we're going to be having during this time. So
yeah, that's a major lesson, especially since Taurus is the most physical of the signs. Then it really brings into question, what is it that we truly value then? What is it that we are really looking for? And it's, you know, I really do feel like it's that true human connection. We have to value. It's like, it's not that we're going to just totally disregard the physical, but it's going to be, we're not going to be as attached to it, and we're not going to try and propagate this image of ourselves using these various material items that we've accumulated and say that, oh, this is who I am and this is, you know, why I'm happy and stuff, when it really comes from a deeper place. That's why I really love how you said that Taurus is a shaman. And I was thinking about that. I was like, you know what, that's actually very true. That is actually very true, that Taurus has that shaman energy. Because, you know, Taurus, first of all, they're just, you guys are so deeply connected to the earth. So it's like Gaia really speaks through you. And you're able to, like, even like the animals which are more connected to Gaia, you know, they speak through you as well. So it's like you're able to help people in that aspect, and really, you know, the earth and these animals, they all speak to us. And a lot of people are so far removed from that energy. They're so far removed from, you know, we've been blessed with a beautiful planet and we're kind of fucking shit up. And, you know, and I think it'll be cool to go to other places and stuff like that. Of course, I've already been there. I'm Starseed, but it'd be kind of cool to like hop in a rocket and go to outer space and stuff like that. But we have so much beautiful things here, and there's so much wonderment here. And there's this whole weird energy of like people trying to escape the earth, trying to leave or escape the matrix. And it's kind of funny because whenever I hear stuff like that, you know, people trying to escape the matrix, like, once you escape a matrix, you're going to go right back into another one. So it's like, you know, that's the whole thing. It's like, that's what Pisces season's kind of teaching us too, is that you can get trapped in this eternal escape, just escaping. And then you can never like really, truly, like, I guess, face yourself head on. But that's why that's why it comes right back around to Aries. So it's like, we can't just escape forever. We can't just detach forever, you know? So with this beautiful earth that we have, we really do need to take care of it. And I think that's one of the things I'm going to start to champion in my message, is that, you know, we are actually on the forefront of probably one of the biggest humanitarian crises. Because with the sea levels rising and shit, and of course Uranus is going to activate this more, but with these sea levels rising, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be displaced. It's like millions of people are going to be displaced.
I've actually gotten that channeled a lot for Uranus and Taurus. There's been like volcanoes that are like numerous years overdue for erupting. There's going to be like tornadoes, hurricanes, and like places that it's never happened. Like, it's going to be crazy shit. And people are going to start worrying more about Mother Earth. But Mother Earth's clapping back this time. Uranus is in the Mother Earth sign. What do you expect?
Oh, guys have been very patient with us.
It literally is like the best kept secret is the Taurus temper tantrum. The last zodiac sign that you want to see get pissed off is a Taurus. And I'm telling you this for a reason. Taurus is the most passive aggressive. They are the last one to lose their shit. So if you literally make a Taurus lose their shit, good fucking luck. Good luck.
Yeah. No,
Good luck.
Agreed. Because
Good
no
luck.
matter how many times you try to hit a Taurus, they have so much, they just have so much raw power. That's why I come to respect Taurus. It's like, because I'm thinking, I was like, one of the signs that like you just really wouldn't want to piss off. Of course, you wouldn't want to piss off a Scorpio because we'll just give you the death stare. But like a Taurus would be like, okay, all right, that's cool. And it's just like, you're right, it's that passive aggressive energy, but there's a reason why you do not want to get in front of a raging bull. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like that is, it's gonna sound bad. I'd rather take on a lion than a raging bull. It's like
It's well, see, I mean, it's dangerous if you go up and slap a Scorpio. Good luck living through that. If you go up and slap a Taurus, I mean, if you got a real strong one, Taurus rules over strength. And so that's why they're so passive aggressive, because like when everyone else loses their shit, Taurus can keep it together. You can go up and slap one and they'll keep it straight. But I mean, if you get to like a third or fourth slap and that Taurus hasn't exploded yet, just wait till the fifth one. You're going to wish. It's really bad, because what Taurus does is they have a lot of patience, and that's part of the passive aggressiveness. So much patience. And so they're not just harboring what you did to tick them off. They're harboring the past 2.5 years that they couldn't lose their shit over, that they've been wishing a bitch would.
It's funny too, because my partner, she's a Taurus moon, so it's like I kind of get a little bit of that too, and I can only push her, and she's an Aquarius sun, so I can only push her so much before she turns up on me. And I have a lot of powerful energy. I have a powerful aura too, but it's like she's one where it's like I know that if we were to go like head to head, like I don't know if I'm gonna come out of that one. It's crazy. It's like that Taurus energy, and with Uranus being there, there's definitely gonna be more of a focus on. That's why I feel like we are going to shift the value from not things to people, because this whole displacement of people, where are these people going to go? Are we really going to make these people take a test so they can enter certain countries? Countries are going to be a thing of the past, like, or at least the way that we look at them. It's not going to be like, and we need to have some type of system, but it's like, where are these people going to go? Like, are we just going to turn away millions upon millions of people? Like, what's going to happen? We're really going to have to put the value back in the people and not things. And it's not like things aren't going to be valuable. I'm sure by the time that Uranus is done in Taurus,
people have put too much value in things. People have hyped it up to where, oh, if you don't have money, you're not. They're like, they've like blown it out of proportion. Like, oh, if you don't have money, you have nothing to you. And that's not true. Like, that's not true. And it's been, I mean, even, there's just so much. There's nothing worth selling your soul for a paycheck. Like, it's just not. And that's what people need to recognize and realize. And people like buy into this thing. It's really bad, like collective wise, they buy into it. And I've been there. Like, I am a Taurus, so I did fall into that trap for a little bit, but like I didn't realize whenever I was in it, how I just kept buying shit and it wasn't healing anything. Like, it was just, I needed more. And that's what these people don't realize. Like, it's not something that you can buy to make go away. It's something within you that you need to face.
Absolutely.
Nothing that you buy, nothing that you can own physically is going to heal that wound. Nothing is. And people try to promote and advertise that it is, and it's a lie.
It's a big lie. It's one of the biggest lies, that you can just buy your way to happiness and stuff. And it's weird because this is nothing new. People have talked about this, but it's like people continue to go down that path where they just they feel the need to deck themselves out and, you know, whatever. And it's like, it's not that you get a little bit of happiness from it. You feel good for a moment when you get something, but it does wear off. It's like when you get a new car, you got that new car feel, you
Yeah,
know, it's
I mean,
nice.
there's
It wears
nothing
off.
bad with wanting to be comfortable or wanting to have nice things or enjoying, you know, the physical pleasures of life. It's just what, like, people take it to high extreme.
Yeah.
They take it above and beyond, especially collective wise, the unconscious collective, and it's out of control, and it's brainwashing the youth. It is. And I definitely can feel this because it happened to me, and I had to get myself out of that. And I put myself in a situation where I was like, you know, in a really horrible job. On the outside, it looked like, oh, nice, fancy corporate. But I was going to work and getting abused all the time because it paid so much so that I could buy all this useless shit that wasn't filling the hole. And
Yeah,
people
it's
need to come out of that, like, disillusionment. Like, there's a difference. Like, not to say it's okay to have nice things, but money isn't like your ticket to heaven on earth. It's not, and people think it is, and that's sad.
it is sad. They're some of the most brilliant, enlightened people are flat broke. And you will never know it because you won't walk up to this individual because they look a certain way. But they'll teach you so much about who you are. And they're probably an angel. They probably don't. They probably only came here for like a short amount of time. They just like plopped down and then they like just went up in their spaceship. But you would never approach this individual because they look a certain way. And I think, especially here in America, that's what we have to learn from some of these other countries that, you know, they, yeah, they might not have all of the things that we have, but damn it, they're happy. They're healthier than us. That's for damn sure. But there's something there. There's more of a camaraderie. They care more about the people. They care more about their health. They care more about their spiritual health. It's not about having a bunch of things.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
I
like,
definitely think like America has had that problem. Like, as a species, we're not supposed to be like away from each other or
oh, so I'm gonna just address the comment real quick. Spells Inc. said you have to be vegan to ascend. Hashtag illusion.
well, I don't know about none of that. I like my bacon now.
See, I don't buy into that either. Like, I think that really we probably should shift to a mostly vegetarian vegan diet. I think what kills us here in America is all the processed sugar. All the processed sugar and fast food is really what kills us. I don't eat pork or beef, but I still eat chicken and I love me some salmon and shrimp. Sorry, but you know, that's just everyone has their own different journeys. And there are vegans out there that are flaming assholes, just like there are meat eaters out there that are flaming assholes. Just like there are meat eaters out there that are kicking ass and taking names and they're very spiritual. They're very, compassionate and helping other people, just like there are vegans. So it's like that's another agenda that I'm seeing being pushed. The whole like, and I even almost fell into it. That not that I ever necessarily I never actually like went vegan, but it's like I would get mad at myself. I was like, oh, why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? This person seems so much more spiritually enlightened, and I'm sitting here like, but are they? Like, I get it, but that's another thing that's going to change though. Uranus and Taurus is the whole our relationship with food.
Yeah, see, I'll be completely honest with you. Yeah, I'm not. That's where my stubbornness comes in. Don't fuck with my food, okay? Of course, the real. I'm gonna eat whatever the fuck I want. I had to have like a come to Jesus moment with my spirit guides because, like, before I ascended and everything, I lost a bunch of weight. But I had like an unhealthy relationship. And so where we met the middle ground was doing portion control for me. So I'm allowed to eat whatever I want, but I have to portion myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a thing where whenever the moon crosses my sun sign, so whenever the moon goes into Scorpio, that's when I cut out all meat. So, and I want to try and do that for a couple other times throughout the lunar transit, but that's really the main time I focus on it. Um, but otherwise, in my diet, they're like, I mean, I don't like really drink regular milk, but I do love pizza every now and then. Actually, I love pizza and I love ice cream. So, but at my home, we don't buy like regular milk. We just buy like almond and cashew milk and stuff. So,
Yeah, I've had a lot of people come for me, and I'm like, listen, I'm a Taurus for a reason. Don't argue with me about food. It's
yeah,
not
you
gonna
can't,
happen.
you guys, like, you can't, like, I'm sorry, like, if, first of all, if there's a Taurus out there that's a vegan, like, you have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even talk about
Determination.
determination. Oh my goodness. Like, kudos to you, honestly. But yeah, you don't want to fuck with the Taurus with their food choices. Like, it's just, that's one of those things. Everyone has their own thing. So like some people, they explore.
I really think that Taurus, like, if you want to find the number one thing that Tauruses are most stubborn about, it really, swear to God, is food. I
Yeah.
mean, it really is.
It's kind of
Because
funny
I've
because it's almost
noticed
like
it
Taurus is like a
myself.
meme of itself when it comes to food. And you wouldn't really think that. It's like, oh, that's just so stereotypical. But I'm like, no, but it's actually truth. Like
Yeah,
these.
it is. It is really true. I turn into like Lucifer whenever, like, if I go too long without eating. And I noticed my cat, he's the same way, and he's Taurus. I was like, damn, all these memes are true. Like, I swear to God. So when I don't eat, that's when it gets bad.
Scorpio, we expect everyone to know how we're feeling without telling them. That's our issue.
Right? It's
That's
like,
the that's the
uh-huh.
huge issue. It's like you
The
should just be able
guessing
to feel
game.
it.
Uh-huh. The guessing game, and you better guess right. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's like, and I catch myself doing it. It's like, oh, you should know how I feel. It's like, yeah, but you didn't tell me. But yeah, but you should be able to feel my intensity. It's just radiating off of me, and it's like, that's when you really have. That's when I've had to learn how to, like, I have to be open, not to be vulnerable, and it's tough for a Scorpion to be vulnerable. It's like we have that hard shell, right? So it's tough for us to be open about these deeper emotions and these deeper feelings because Scorpio is a very psychological sign. So it's like Scorpio, like if you, especially if you have like a good amount of Scorpio placements or placements in the eighth house, if you have a lot of like these weird dark thoughts, it's normal. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Like
Mhm.
you know, that's something I've kind of been learning. It's like, well, it's like that's kind of your energy. You don't want to really think too much of it when you have some of these thoughts. And that's
Mhm.
something that I've been having to learn, myself. It's a very psychological sign.
Mhm.
It's the reason why they
Yeah,
call it the most important sign.
the
So
taboo side of life and everything like that, it's just that there's a natural understanding. And especially when it comes to like thinking of the worst and everything, especially like, I've seen a lot of trying to surprise a Scorpio. You better be smart about how you do that. Um,
I've
like
learned that Aquarius is one of the few signs that can do that.
Right, I know. Oh, I
Yeah.
know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's kind of funny because apparently Scorpio and Aquarius does not they get along apparently in a friendship setting, in a business setting, and a romantic setting. Apparently they do not get along. But from what I've seen, what I feel is like I am deeply fascinated by Aquarius energy. I'm also equally pissed off by it because I can't. It's hard to one up Scorpio.
It
I mean,
is.
hard to one up Aquarius. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a Freudian slip, but it is hard to one up an Aquarius when you're arguing with them. It's like they just pull something from like another dimension that's like I don't know. I don't know how they do it. They just pull it out. I'm just like, okay, well, fine, I guess. I'm gonna just go back to my corner over here.
Scorpio, especially when determined. I live with both these energies, so it's been some shit. Because like my personality will get so agitated with how I'm feeling, or my soul will get agitated with my personality. It's like, damn it, I can't win. I have to live with both this shit.
Right.
I have a lot of times where my Aquarius will be like, Scorpio, pipe the fuck down before you make me lose my shit. And then, yeah, the moon sign always wins. That's for sure.
The moon sign does always win. That's kind of the interesting thing I've learned about it. Like the sun sign is very important, but I've been learning like, you know, the moon sign is very, very powerful. And wins a good bit of the time. Like it really does. Like the sun, it helps you to definitely become aware of things. And like when things first come up to your awareness, like then you get to start to see it and you'll start to see the signs and everything. But then your moon will just kind of come up and just like kind of come up from behind and just kind of, you know, it'll throw you for a loop, that's for sure. But it's interesting though, since we're talking about moons, because I know that you said that, you know, this is probably going to be one of your last lives, you know, here in this earth plane, or at least here in this space and location. And it's interesting that you said that because like I've been thinking about it myself, and I don't know if this is like my last time incarnating here. It's either the last or the second to last. And I think the next time I come, it's going to be like way into the future, like 2400s or something like that. But what I've come to channel is that pretty much if you have an Aquarius moon or a Pisces moon, and I think some Cap moons are actually included in this, is that this is a very critical lifetime for us to like really bring our message forward, because we are up to be kind of recycled into the next thing. Because, you know, you got, I mean, if you just look at it from an astrological standpoint, with Pisces being the 12th house and Aries being that first house, and definitely, you know, from like coming from my perspective, I have a 28-degree Pisces moon. So it's like my soul has been through a lot, and your soul goes through a lot. And it's like when you get to these higher, you know, placements, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, your soul does come up for this renewal. So you can kind of, you know, you can go back and become like really refreshed. So for anybody that has like a moon in Capricorn or Aquarius or Pisces, or I would even say like a moon maybe in those houses, that your soul is really up for like this major renewal and refreshness. But I mean, how do you feel about that? Is that, you know, how does that, do you vibe with that at all?
Oh yeah. Me specifically, what I've gotten channeled is that if it's in Aquarius or Pisces, that this could definitely be one of your last incarnations, especially Pisces. Like your souls are older than mine, and it can be I mean, it's some shit. I'm surprised that this is my last incarnation, and like here on Earth. Like I'm still going to reincarnate, but I'm never coming back to reincarnate on planet Earth again, ever. Like this is my last time. So it's very, very important. And I feel like that's why I have a Sagittarius North Node. I'm meant to like be out there. I'm meant to speak my truth. I'm meant to be a teacher, because like y'all are going to need this for, because I can't come back. Like I got other places I got to go. I got other people I got to see. So, sorry about that. My friend was calling me.
Oh, no, you're good.
But so basically, this is the last one that I have. So because of that, I'm here to like speak my message. And, you know, I definitely feel like with Aquarius, there's a more like rare exception, but definitely Pisces, there's a very high probability that this is going to be one of your last incarnations on Earth. But I feel like it's more rare with Aquarius being your last incarnation. Usually you have to go through the whole zodiac signs when it comes to the moon. But you know, it just depends. And there can always be exceptions as well with like Capricorns and everything. I just feel like there's more like a dime a dozen when it comes to to those type of things.
Yeah, we actually can't. I don't mean to cut you off right now, but we don't see. Hold on, I can't really see right now. Now it's just kind of your logo that's popping up on my end, but maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Can you hear me though? Oh, let's see. Come on, let's see what's going on here. What's going on here? Are we getting interference? Oh no, what's going on? Blame it on the Gatorade. Hello, can you hear me? Oh man, I don't know what's going on. Let's see if we can get her back. But man, see that's this whole Gatorade thing with Mercury. Got some interference. I started to really. I think I was talking about that Aquarius moon, Pisces moon thing, where it was like, you might be revealing too much information now. What's going on, man? See if I can get her back in here. I don't know how exactly. If we can see. Man, I don't want to end it right there because we were going in. Got call us what drop. Maybe that's probably what happened. Because we were going to draw cards too, actually, for the 12 signs. So, I mean, if we can somehow get her back, that would be awesome. Hopefully, we can. Let's see. Things happen, though, I suppose, right? It's that Mercury Gatorade. Maybe sending her another link would help. I don't know. Dang. We got mad interference. Oh, these things happen. But that's this whole Pisces season energy. It's like really anything's really up for grabs. And you don't really know what's going to happen. I'm going to see if I can try and get her back on. But if not, then, we may have to cut this short. I'm sorry about that, guys. These things happen and stuff. Yeah, we could start a new live. That might be what we have to do. So if we started another live, we can at least finish it up. Let's see. We might have to start another live. That might be the best option, actually. So, but I sent her another link. So let's see if she joins within the next few minutes. And if not, then I can always do another live. We can always come back. Because I want to finish this up because it's a good talk. And I want to at least draw cards for you guys too. So, but let's see if we can get her to come back. You know what? So, anyways, is the server still? Let's see. Yeah, we might have to start another live, guys. Okay, we're actually going to do that. I think that might be the best thing to do in this situation. So, thank you guys for joining, obviously. This has been amazing so far. I know we haven't really been engaging too much with the comments and stuff, but, probably when we come back, we can start to engage a little bit more with that. But I hope you guys are gaining some value out of this. Hope you guys are, you know, obviously doing the best that you can with this and with these incredible, wacky, amazing transits. And yeah, we'll be back in just a moment. I'm gonna start another live and see what we can do. So.